Hey my good friends, Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. After nearly 40 years with very few changes, the all-new from the ground up 2019 Mercedes-Benz G-Class, the G-Wagen, made its official debut at the Detroit Auto Show. Bigger, brawnier yet, more sophisticated. Our first full look, it's coming right up. While at a distance it may look the same, the all-new 2019 Mercedes-Benz G-Class bears little in common, bolt for bolt, to the icon that's been gracing the Kalahari and Rodeo Drive for the past 40 years. As we are the largest market for the G-Class, Mercedes-Benz chose the North American Auto Show in Detroit to unveil the first major redesign of the global icon that it's become. And make no mistake, they were very careful to retain all that's made it what it is since 1979, while reinventing it to survive in the new world order of customer expectations and environmental regulation. Retaining its style of boxy military-grade form, its robust exterior rub strips, the exterior-mounted spare, external door hinges, and fender-mounted turn indicators, the new G-Class might well pass for the old one, but this one is significantly larger in every direction. Some 2 inches longer, nearly 5 inches wider, it now has a more solid appearance with forms a bit more taut in some places and more rounded in others. Lighting, while similar in design to the past, is thoroughly modernized with LED. Using modern-day construction and design techniques have given it better aesthetics in the small details, better panel gap alignment, and higher quality build overall that first-time G-Class buyers will find more befitting of its modern-day price ranges. Nowhere does this approach become more apparent than in the cabin, where it's been thoroughly redesigned and brought up to date with modern-day ergonomic design, seating options, handcrafted quality of materials, and the availability of the latest technologies Mercedes-Benz cars now offer up. While far more modern, the G-Class retains its history of design details like the grab handle ahead of the passenger and the upright center stack console with switchgear, as well as the commanding seating position that's made it all unique. While shown here with the wide dual-screen display clusters lifted from the Mercedes-Benz E and S classes, if you're a purist, you can still choose a traditional 2-dial instrument cluster with a less glitzy aura. Regardless of theme, everyone will appreciate its larger proportions inside with more legroom front and rear, where passengers get nearly 6 inches more to stretch out. Its extra width also provides nearly 3 inches additional shoulder room. Cargo capacity is also increased as well. Most important to Mercedes-Benz with the new G-Class was not only retaining off-road qualities, but improving them. Secondly, its long complaint about road manners on the pavement had to be solved. Mercedes-Benz says they've achieved both goals in spades. The 2019 G-Class retains its robust ladder frame, its 3 differential locks, and true low-range off-road hardware, but it gets a thoroughly modern suspension to make it all work better for both worlds. A key element is an all-new independent front suspension with double wishbones mounted directly to the frame. The differential is then able to be moved up higher into the chassis, which allows a ground clearance of 10.6 inches here. The rear suspension retains the solid axle format but gets a design of 4 trailing arms at each side and a panhard rod to locate it and control it. Articulation both front and rear is improved for off-roading, which ends up with improved metrics across the board. Maximum water-fording depth is now 27.6 inches, up nearly 4 inches. The breakover angle has been improved to 26 degrees, departure angle of 30 degrees, and approach angles of 31 degrees, all improved. The new chassis also allows for an optional adaptive damping system tied to all the drive modes of the Dynamic Select system. Among others, here is a new G mode which adapts the adjustable dampers, the steering, the throttle mapping, and the traction control systems for extreme off-road conditions. A new electric rack and pinion steering system along with a stiffer frame, modern suspension, and drive modes should provide for a much more stable and direct handling experience on the pavement where most drivers will actually spend their time. Mercedes-Benz says that here, the majority of drivers and customers will notice the greatest strides in refinement, ease of use, and everyday comfort living in the new G-Class. At launch in the United States, we'll get the G550, which has a 4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine with 416 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. It's carried over from the current G-Class, but it's now mated to an all-new 9-speed automatic transmission. Continuing to be built in Graz, Austria, the all-new 2019 Mercedes-Benz G-Class goes on sale here in the United States late this year. Alright, I gotta tell you I'm pretty impressed here. I saw these vehicles testing all camouflaged here in Phoenix, Arizona just last summer, and I wondered what the heck they were doing. I hadn't really studied up on this to see what they had in mind when it comes to the all-new G-Class. In fact, I thought maybe it was just a refresh, but what do you know, this thing is all new from the ground up, and I'm very glad to see that they've retained everything that's made it great and perhaps made it better. Obviously, a test drive is in order, and until then, I invite you to see everything we've done, everything we've covered from the Detroit Auto Show right there on our playlist, a lot of SUV news, trucks, cars from all brands, as well as please do subscribe to our YouTube channel because we do this all the time. Either way, stay tuned.